One punch. It was enough to bring a mighty empire to its knees. A mere split-second lapse of judgment created the greatest injustice in soccer history. June 22nd, 1986, Mexico. 114,000 people in the stadium. Millions watching on TV, but no one fully understood what had happened in that moment. The atmosphere was so tense that even the wind seemed afraid to blow over the fans. Diego Maradona leaped into the air, pushed the boundaries of the impossible, and did something unprecedented in soccer history. So, was this a gift from God, or the most sophisticated fraud of the century? Today, we're turning back the clock in the VAR Inside 3D Lab. We're turning the lens of modern technology back to 1986 and subjecting that hand to a digital autopsy. If you're ready, let's unmask the king and bring that mysterious incident to light. Now we're delving into the deepest layers of the lab. Our precision must be as sharp as a surgeon's scalpel so that we can bring that dark day into the light with impartiality. You can see clearly in our 3D model. As Maradona jumps, he positions his left arm like a shadow beside his head. Look closely. His left fist is exactly 11 centimeters higher than his head. Referee Ali Bin Nasser was exactly 22 meters away from the play. It was an angle from which he simply couldn't see. Our simulation proves that Shilton's broad shoulders and towering height blocked the referee's view like a wall at that very split second. It was as if a supernatural event were unfolding, one that could have caused an entire nation to vanish from the face of the earth. How long do you think it would take to review this play under today's IFAB rules? Just 12 seconds. The decision is clear. Goal disallowed and a straight red card. After the goal, Maradona shouted to his teammates, "Come on, give me a hug!" Because he knew, the more exuberant the celebration, the more real the lie. He was no longer a soccer player, but a Terminator soldier who had studied his lesson well. Yes, it was part of a well-thought-out, ruthless plan. But for Argentina, this was God's war reparations taken from the English. Back then, Rule 12 explicitly banned handling the ball, but the atmosphere on the field was harsher than the rule book. The referee's decision is final and cannot be changed. The technology was still in its infancy. Video replays were intended solely for television viewers. There wasn't even a protocol in place for referees to consult these images. In today's sterile VAR world, this play would be overturned in seconds. But in 1986's romantic notion of justice, it fell into the referee's blind spot, and the offense went down in history as God's will. Maradona called it the hand of God. We, in our lab, call it a perfect illusion. So, in the 2026 matches managed with state-of-the-art technology, could scenarios like this, capable of bringing a nation to its knees, still be written? Next up is another scandalous refereeing decision in soccer history. Once again, during a World Cup. This time, the referee failed to call a goal on a ball that crossed the goal line, and the justice of the game completely collapsed. Today, in our 3D lab, we're dissecting that dark day when FIFA resisted technology, the 2010 Germany versus England disaster, inch by inch. This rocket, fired from Frank Lampard's foot, reached a speed of exactly 98 kilometers per hour. The ball struck the crossbar and landed exactly 33 centimeters inside the goal line. 33 centimeters. This is the clearest ghost goal in soccer history. England's comeback story came to an end in that very second with the referee's whistle. So, how did the 4 referees on the field fail to see this reality that the entire world witnessed in a matter of seconds? Now, with the VAR Inside 3D perspective, did the referee intentionally not call that goal, or did he genuinely not see it? Or was something else at play? Despite there being 4 referees on the field, the referee's position at that moment created a blind spot that made it impossible for him to see where the ball hit the ground. But that isn't the real tragedy. The real tragedy was that FIFA watched the replay of the play on the stadium's giant screens that day and still did not award the goal. FIFA was witnessing the downfall of a nation right there. Lampard's disallowed goal was the spark that ignited soccer's technological revolution. Otherwise, people's perspective on soccer would have changed, and the sport would have lost its value. If this play had occurred at the 2026 World Cup, the referee's watch would have displayed a goal notification in just 0.3 seconds. sensors, chips, and 3D VAR, justice is no longer at the mercy of a single person's judgment or perspective. The matches that a nation comes to with such excitement will no longer be graves, but environments of justice entrusted to these devices. So, do you think England could have beaten Germany that day if that mistake hadn't happened? Or does soccer need these mistakes and these dramatic moments? Let's discuss in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for our 2026 World Cup analysis. This is VAR Inside 3D.